Hello, hello, beautiful, radiant being. It's great to be together to take a little time to practice and to reset our nervous systems. So it's always a good day for shaking, tapping, and cupping because I think that's a practice that's always accessible. No matter how tired or icky I feel, it always changes everything for the better. So that's what we're going to do today. But for just one moment, I'd like to invite you to either sit or stand in a comfortable position where you feel your feet, you feel your sit bones, and you feel the crown of your head rising up gently so your spine feels nice and quiet and long. And take a few moments to check in with yourself. We're not trying to change anything. We're just taking a few moments to feel into what is. Maybe you've just had a hard day at work, maybe you've just woken up, or any other scenario that is real. And just feel into what is presenting itself in you. Honestly, no apologies, not trying to fix anything, just being. And maybe notice how your breath figures into this. Is your breath shallow, deep, ragged, full? And where in your body are you noticing your breath moving? So that's just a gentle check-in. And now we're going to file that away in the filing cabinet somewhere in here or wherever it goes, and let that be. And I'd like to invite you into the shaking, tapping, cupping, and then we'll have a little check-in at the end just to see, to be playful. Maybe nothing's changed. Maybe a lot has changed. Who knows? But we just want to have a little bit of a reference point. I'm going to do the practice standing. You're welcome to play with it in a seated position and enjoy it there. You can even lie down, listen, and visualize. Pro tip, very powerful to do that. So don't ever think that doing a subtle version of an exercise or an exploration means that it's not powerful. Please don't put that association together. It's not like that at all. We're looking for what's authentic in every moment. So let's get to it and reset yourself for a moment in your vertical alignment. So I'm planting my feet. I'm really feeling them connect to the earth. I'm feeling my tailbone drop. My knees are soft a little bit. And I'm also connecting to the sky. So I'm already plugging into the big energies above and below. They're already bigger than I am, and they have more resources than I do, so thank you and thank you. And now a little bit of light shaking. It's nice to start small because then you can feel into your day or your evening. Where are you? If you start too fast and too big, you might have missed something. So just a little bit, maybe shaking the fingertips. Maybe you feel like making a sound, letting some breath or sound come out. And if this feels nice, you might want to test out other body parts. Maybe the shoulders want to shake and jiggle. And there are no rules other than be playful and make it comfortable, have ease. Let your ankles be relaxed. I'm moving my feet around a little bit, so maybe lift a heel, lift a toe. You can jiggle in any way that you like, and see if you can get your hips involved, your knees involved, and of course this can be quite mild. It can be very, very contained, and a lovely sense of almost a vibration in the body. But do see if you can get your neck free. Doesn't have to move a lot, because remember, that head is a heavy darn thing. So especially if we have any neck injuries or concerns, you don't want to be whipping your head around at this point, but making sure that it's not braced or held is important. So let's just have a little bit more time doing whatever you like, jumping, running, dancing to some unheard music. And let this come and settle down gently. Now, if you like the shaking, you can just do that later on in the day or to release, to prepare, shaking for 5, 10, 15 minutes, an hour if you want to. As long as it feels good to you, shaking can be a wonderful way to release and reset everything. So returning to vertical alignment. And now check in with your breath. How are you feeling now? Just a little visit. Is anything changing? Anything changed or new in your breath, in how you feel, in any little tingles or temperature changes you might notice? And we'll do just a little bit of swinging. So the knees are soft, and even in the chair or in your visualization, you might want to start with the gaze softly forward without locking the neck. So I'm pretty much keeping my head more or less still, but I'm not locking the neck. I'm letting a little bit of natural movement come. You can also let your head swing with movement if that's nice for you. And you can also lift that back heel so you get a pivot and perhaps a little bit more range of motion. So again, something for everybody and something for every possible mood or condition or situation. Let this come to a natural completion. And now see how you feel. Just notice how you feel. Connect to your vertical alignment. Remember, you're not alone. Even if you're sheltering in isolation, we can connect through social media in meaningful ways. We can connect with the great sky, the outdoors, the earth. We're actually never alone, so we can take some comfort through these esoteric teachings. And now with a soft smile and breathing, we're going to tap, beginning with tapping over the breastbone and a lovely light puffing of the chest. So you're taking a posture of radiance, a posture of confidence and ease. And every place that we tap, we're tapping with love, we're awakening, and we're remembering. Now cupping with a soft hand, cupping back and forth over the chest on one side, coming around the breast, chest tissue. Breathe smoothly and in a relaxed way, in and out through the nose, coming up through the armpit, lovingly. You can also exhale through the pursed lips or an open mouth anytime you like. I'm a big fan of breathing in and out through the nose as a general rule of thumb. Other people have different ways, and we respect all of them. So breathe comfortably for you. If you get lightheaded, calm the breath down a little bit. And come into the inner wrist. Clap the hands brightly. Feel how this changes the energy, the bright, clear sound. And then tapping the fingertips, the nails, and cupping up the outside of the hand, the arm, and coming over the shoulder. You can boost that arm and give yourself a pat on the back, and maybe even a little bit of love tapping into your neck. See how that feels. Is anything changing or shifting for you? And let's zip up the energy. So that's that feeling of zipping up but rooting down. You know when you have a dividing zipper, you have to pull the bottom a little bit in order to get the pull. So we're lengthening down to get grounded, and we're zipping up at the same time. So here we go again. Always refreshing and renewing. It's like you are rebooting. You are constantly rebooting, refreshing, and updating your operating system. And then cupping a little bit back and forth with love, coming around the breast, chest region. And coming into the armpit, up and down the chest. From the armpit down under the soft portion of the arm under the elbow, under the forearm, wrist. Nice and tall and soft and bright when you're clapping. Tapping the fingertips, the nails, the back of the hand. You can even use your eyes to send extra doses of love and appreciation to each part as you're touching it. And then up over the shoulder, pat on the back, maybe something into the neck. And smoothly breathing in and out. And then let that shake out a little bit, circle around, see how that feels. Maybe new life is coming into parts of yourself. Now we're going to go up a little bit. So vertical alignment, you're connected to earth and sky. And coming up the throat, patting lightly. I think of these as butterfly hands. Coming up the sides of the neck, maybe even over the ears. And then top of the shoulders, back of the neck, up into the base of the skull. Back and forth. Shake out a little bit. Massage your ears. Massaging around the edge of the ear. Find all of the places that feel good. Maybe one of your fingers wants to explore the little caves and crevices. Massage, get into where the ear joins the skull. Play with your earlobes. And then rub that little flap in front of the ear. You can yawn a little bit here with that. And then just shake that out. And a little bit of tapping for the face. Let's do the butterfly fingers. So the hands are almost flat, but they're not tense. And they're just patting. They're like little fluttering wings. And then maybe flutter upwards a little bit, lifting the cheeks. Smiling helps you figure out where to do that. Tapping up the sides of the nose. Tapping ever so gently into the temple area. And then with fingertip control, very delicate, we're going to tap around the eye socket, under the eye, coming up the bridge of the nose, out over the eyebrow bone, smiling, awakening. It's like the stirrings of spring in your own being. And today let's pinch the eyebrows. So we're going to pinch the inner eyebrows and do little overlapping pinches all the way to the outer corners. And if that feels really nice, why not do it again? Shake out through the hands. If you took your glasses off like me, it's probably a good time to put them back on. And light tapping in the front of the forehead, tapping into the third eye. And then brushing the third eye, taking away any cobwebs. We want to see clearly with our eyes as well as our intuition. Shake that out. And now free-form tapping all over the scalp. You can use the finger pads, you can use the butterfly hands, you can use a bit of fingernail for some light stimulation, whatever feels good. And don't forget to get into the base of the skull there, behind the ears. And this is refreshing not only for the scalp, but also for the brain, because this tapping has a sound vibration that goes in through the fluids of the brain and the tissues. So we're also visualizing and assisting harmony in the brain, in the nervous system, in the endocrine system. And let's shake that out, shake that out. And let's continue cupping now into the chest. Maybe you want to let out some sound, both for expression of energy and also to deepen your exhalation. And then see how the next inhalation feels after you've done a sound. You might find that the following inhalation has a bit more depth to it, and that's because you've exhaled more. And that's the key to breath, is to exhale first. And then cupping the breast, chest area. You can bounce a little bit with your knees if you feel like it, if you're standing. You can do double hand cupping. You can do alternating. Make it fun. Say hello to your belly. Say hello to all of your organs inside, even if you don't know where they are. It doesn't matter. The intention always cuts through all the details and goes to the source. Let's come around the sides of the waist and into the back and the kidneys. Give them some sound. And then rub up and down, rub up and down, rub up and down. Take a little pause, refresh your vertical alignment, and feel your breath. See if you can aim your breath into the back of your body for a few rounds, as though you have gills or lungs at the back. And the truth is, more lung tissue is at the back of the body than at the front. So this is very important, to feel breath in the back. And just let yourself connect to that. Might be subtle, might be obvious, whatever it is. Making the effort is the supreme first step. Let's continue with the tapping and cupping. We're going to lightly come into the lower belly, come into the groin area, come into the perineum, coming down the insides of the thighs. Now, the way I have my camera set, you can't see my lower legs, but doesn't matter. You know where yours are. And you bend over as far as is comfortable, and you don't go over any further. The rest you can do by imagining. So we're imagining or coming all the way down the insides of our lower legs, behind the ankles, along the inner instep, over the tops of the feet, around the outsides of the feet, the outsides of the ankles, coming up the outsides of the legs, and then up the outsides of the thighs. And you really can't do this wrong. You can vary it, you can add things. As long as you feel good, you're breathing, and your intention is a connection and sending love into your body. We're wiggling here, wiggling and shimmying. It helps to get the knees soft to do this. Let that come to a gentle finish. And once again, rest your hands somewhere on your back. If you have tenderness in the sacral region, maybe you want your hands there. If you have stiffness in your buttocks, maybe you want your hands lower. Maybe you want your hands at the small of your waist. And then also maybe your hands will only rest comfortably in one of those positions, but you want to send energy to another place you can't reach comfortably. No problem. You put your hands close, where it's comfortable, close to that region, and then you use your visualization, your breath, your smile, and your intention to send the energy into the area that needs it the most. And then we're going to slide the hands around to finish with hands on the belly so we can feel into our breath. Feel your feet connected into the ground. Let your sit bones drop. If you're on a chair, you've got that sensation for feedback. Everybody elongate gently through the spine. We're not stiffening or pushing anything. We're just sending positive messages in, breathing smoothly, gently, smiling. And notice how you feel right now. How do you feel in terms of your whole self, your whole being, your body, mind, spirit, emotions? And take a little look back into your memory banks. How did you feel just before we started the practice when we did that little check-in? And for your own fun, curiosity, is there a difference? Has there been any kind of a shift for you? And whatever positive shift you've experienced or whatever you've gotten from this little session, know that the benefits are yours and they can come with you wherever you go. You don't leave them behind in this practice. You bring them with you because you bring you with yourself wherever you go next. So this brings us to the completion of today's episode of Movement Medicine Morsels, where we've been playing with the classic of tapping, cupping, and just making all the connections, like connecting all the dots in our wholeness. I hope you enjoyed it. If you experienced any shift, please drop a line in the chat box. I do love to hear from you, and we'll see you next time. And we're always connected in the big chi field and prana field. Blessings to you. Bye for now.